This is a Fox 17 Winter Weather Alert.
Welcome back, everybody. 5:11 on Friday morning. And obviously, if you've been paying attention even remotely close to the forecast the last couple of days, you know we've got a weather system that we're tracking into the weekend, and we'll get to those specifics momentarily. Right now on the camera lens, yeah, you can tell there might be a little mist and drizzle out there. The pavement wet. Rob Westerby has been telling you about that, but it is wet. It is not slippery with temperatures in the upper 40s. We were near 50 degrees for a number of hours, going all the way back to about 6:30 yesterday evening. And when I drove into work this morning, my car thermometer did indeed say 50 degrees. So pretty amazing for January 10th. You go just out to the west, though, some colder air is starting to seep into the picture behind a cold front. And winds are out of the southwest at the moment. I guess you could say the cold front comes through later this morning in some ways, because our winds will turn to the north, but they will go very light. It is several hundred miles behind the front when we wait for the colder air to arrive overnight tonight. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. 46s or thereabouts, 7 a.m., noon, and then tending to trickle off a degree or two or three as we go through the day, but still in the 40s, and nothing to be concerned about winter precipitation-wise right on through this evening. If you're headed out for dinner, maybe going to a movie, we don't have any ice anticipated. Winter storm warning goes into effect at 1 a.m. in Grand Rapids, really along the I-96 corridor. Will go into effect at 10 p.m. tonight for northern sections, as the frozen precip will begin there earlier. And down to the south, the winter storm warning along I-94 goes into effect at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We've got a northeast wind that will start to crank up, though, overnight tonight. This officially on the time code at 3:15 tomorrow afternoon. Sustained well into the 20s. We'll have gusts into the 30s and 40s, it does appear, as low pressure gathers to our south. And this is the upper level energy associated with the system. The dynamics are really strong. And surface low is in the process of coming together over the panhandle of Texas, now moving into Oklahoma. It'll ride up along this front. As the front continues to ease off to the east, you'll notice that the axis of precipitation, the axis of rainfall, is pointed away from us at the moment, though there are some areas of drizzle and mist nearby, and those will continue likely into the morning and into the afternoon. There could actually be a low where we don't have any precipitation at all for a time, say mid to late afternoon, before more moisture gathers. Let's start the model at 2:30. This is the European model. It doesn't have the resolution of the RPM that we show sometime, but it does indicate that light green, which would show some drizzle once we get towards 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. I think a wider spread rain builds in from south to north, and we will be dealing with rain in the overnight. And then as the colder air, this is kind of a rare scenario where low-level cold air just drops in as a low-pressure system approaches from the south, but that's what it's going to do and meet the moisture that's around. So freezing rain. Ultimately, I think even some sleet in Grand Rapids. How much of the freezing rain that we get will be a big player in terms of how much weight you would put on the trees and thus cause the potential for power outages. So that still remains to be seen, folks. There's no guarantees with regards to how much ice that we are going to accrue on the trees. Hopefully we get more sleet. I think perhaps the better chance for more freezing rain is starting to ease to the south a bit towards I-94, as the solutions with the models have been trending colder in the overnight. So there is the prospect, though, for a half of an inch to an inch of ice for some sections of the viewing area. I will tell you that the latest model is looking a bit colder, so we may in fact get a few inches of snow in Grand Rapids before this pulls out of here early on Sunday morning. Nonetheless, keep your eye to the forecast as we go forward. We're not dealing with any ice, though, until mid-morning tomorrow. It does look like locally it'll be earlier in our northernmost counties, the Fremont, Big Rapids, even Muskegon. We got more to come, folks. As I've been mentioning in recent days, though, it does get milder. Look at this, back into the 40s early next week.